Why hello there friends, it's Emma here, the Bookish Princess. First of all, let me wish you a very happy new year. I hope your 2024 is filled with lovely things and lovely books, and that is what today's video is all about. I'm so excited to announce that Febregency will be returning for its third year this February. Febregency is a readathon that runs throughout the month of February, and it is dedicated to the literature of Great Britain's Regency period. So we use Wikipedia's generous definition of 1795 to 1837. And the whole point of the readathon is just to dive into that time period, learn something new. There was so much going on in the world. Of course, the French Revolution was taking place at the end of the 1700s, and then the Napoleonic Wars were going on. But you also have Jane Austen writing about cozy domestic scenes in little British towns. You also had incredible technological advances, a lot of travel, a lot of new emerging factories and things that would come to fruition in the Victorian period, but we're just starting in the Regency era, and it's just such a fascinating period to read about and learn about, and there were so many amazing authors. Jane Austen, of course, is my ultimate. It doesn't get much better than her in my book, but it's so fascinating to learn more about the daily life that she would have been living, what authors were publishing during her time period, what authors she would have been reading. So you are encouraged to read any work set during, written during, popular during this time period, but we do have 4 specific challenges which I am so excited to tell you about. They're brand new this year. We did have each host choose one challenge, so let me introduce our hosts. We have the lovely Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space. We have Tristan from Tristan and the Classics, and Stephanie from Miss Richards Reads. Do make sure you go and check out their channels and also their announcement videos. I do have a whole playlist of this year's Febregency videos, but also Febregency videos, TBRs. I'll make sure I leave that linked in the description below. It could be a great place to go and get some inspiration. But let's get to the challenges. Christy's challenge is read historical fiction set during the Regency period. I think you will have such a wide swath of books to choose from for this. Of course, there's Georgette Heyer and authors like that who write Regency romances, but I know one that I've had my eye on is the Horatio Hornblower series. I believe this was written in the 30s, and it's about a naval captain in the Royal Navy during the Napoleonic Wars. So it's always fun to see how the eras after a time period kind of reinterpret that time period. Our next challenge is from Stephanie. It is read a new to you Regency author. This is honestly my favorite thing about readathons like this on BookTube, is finding an author who you never would have encountered otherwise. I always love to read classics, but sometimes it is a little intimidating to pick up a work from the past that you don't know very much about. Maybe it's kind of thick and heavy, but once you pick it up, you might meet your new best friend. You might meet a kindred spirit. It is amazing how a good writer from the past, it's like all the cultural and societal differences, they just fade away, and it's like you're sitting down with a friend. It's been so exciting during these past 2 years to discover Regency authors and just get to know them a little better, especially favorites of Jane Austen like Maria Edgeworth and Fanny Burney. There's just such a treasure house of wealth waiting for you in books from the past, and sometimes you need something like a reading challenge to kind of give you that push to really dive in and discover something new. Tristan's challenge I'm very excited about. It is learn and engage in a Regency pastime or arrange an evening of Regency games with friends. There are so many wonderful Regency pastimes which you will read about in these Regency books. Card games and music and painting and all these different hobbies that are still popular today, but we spend so much time on our phones, and it is so fun to hear about the more tactile habits that people from the Regency era had. Last year I did a video for Febregency of cozy ways to live like Jane Austen, and it just had lots of different habits and pastimes. So I'll make sure I leave that linked up above if you need some inspiration. I know we had someone last year, Faith, did a vlog of a Regency party that she had arranged with family and friends. They played music and games. I think they might have dressed up, maybe made some Regency era recipes. Last year I found a book of recipes from Martha Lloyd. She was a friend of the Austens and actually lived with the Austen family for a while. And it had all of these receipts and recipes that she herself would have cooked, that she collected. And it was really fun. I did try to make a couple. So yes, I love Tristan's challenge of not just reading about the era, but really immerse yourself in it. And then my challenge is read a book from the Regency era that involves a naval journey or travel by sea. The Napoleonic Wars were going on during this time period. We see them in some of Jane Austen's works, and Persuasion occasion, we have Captain Wentworth, and then in Mansfield Park, Fanny Price, the heroine, her brother William is in the Navy, and he'll send her back some things, or she'll maybe read a book about some far off place that he's traveling to. It's funny because when you think of Jane Austen, you think of the little cozy British villages, but actually the world was being explored at this time period, and those travels were making their way back. Last year, I read a travelogue by Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein. She just went across the channel to France and Switzerland, but it was so fascinating to read about what travel at that time period would have been like. I just think there's a lot of potential there for some great stories. I actually have not picked out my Febregency TBR quite yet. I have some ideas, but I gotta nail them down. So definitely make sure you're subscribed. I'm sure I'll be posting a TBR, and make sure you're subscribed to the other hosts as well. One book I do know that I'll be reading is Belinda by Mariah Edgeworth. We're actually doing this as our Febregency group read. I actually have a monthly online book club that I do with subscribers, and this is our book for the month of February. So we're gonna do an hour-long web call to discuss it. It's gonna be on Saturday, February 24th at noon. It's on Google Meet, so if you're not on my book club email list already, just send me an email, em@bookishprincess.com, and I'll make sure I get you added to it, and then you'll have the link if you'd like to join us on the 24th. It should be a fun discussion. I read The Absentee by Mariah Edgeworth last year during Febregency and absolutely loved it. It made it onto my top 23 books of 2023. I have read Belinda once before, but it's been quite a while. I remember loving it the first time I read it, so I'm really excited to revisit it and discuss it with all of you guys. I hope you guys are excited about Febregency. I'd love to hear if you're planning on joining us, if you already have some authors or books that are on your list that you're thinking of reading during February. Let me know down in the comments. If there are any other readathons you're excited for during 2024, I'd love to hear about them. I'll talk to you all again soon, and until then, stay bookish. Bye!